Our officers will continue to do what we've been sworn to do and what we have been doing all along, and that is to make New Orleans stronger and safer, and we will not let up.
Tonight is the first night of a strict curfew enforcement in New Orleans, meaning all children under the age of 17 must be home now. Good evening, I'm Tan Trung. The curfew has been in place for years, but was never really enforced. With the recent spike in juvenile crime, the NOPD and city leaders are trying to send a strong message. Paul Dudley joins us live from the Covenant House, one of the places where children will be taken if they break the curfew. Paul?
Yeah, Ton, staff here say they expect 6 to 10 kids tonight, and alongside the workers here will be 2 NOPD officers. It's important to note that the kids here have not been accused of any crimes with exception to curfew violations, and will be picked up as soon as a parent or guardian can come here and do that. The curfew is just one part of Mayor LaToya Cantrell's plan to reduce youth crime in the city, but it is a plan that not everyone agrees on.
We look at this as a prevention center, not as a curfew center.
At Covenant House, Jim Kelly has been helping kids in the Crescent City since the late 80s.
These are good kids. They're out in the wrong place. They don't know what they're doing. They got a place to come.
So when the city asked for the nonprofit's help in acting as a drop-off location for kids who violate curfew this summer, Kelly would not say no.
They want to hop on the computer, that's fine. They want to watch television, that's fine. Gets to be closer to 11, 12 o'clock at night. We've got mattresses for them to take a nap on until mom gets there.
If police find a kid between the ages of 10 and 17 out after curfew and do not believe he or she has committed any other crimes, the child will be brought to the Covenant House. That is, if police can't reach a parent first. If officers do think the child has committed a crime, the kid will be arrested.
That's troubling because that's devoting our precious police resources to an activity that research shows does not actually decrease crime.
This is Aaron Rizzio with the Louisiana Center for Children's Rights.
While all young people stay out after curfew, what we know is that this is going to disproportionately target the black children of New Orleans.
Investigative reporter Mike Pearlstein reports the Youth Study Center has 48 beds. 12 are reserved for juveniles being tried as adults. And right now, 14 juveniles are being housed at Orleans Justice Center in a tier designated for young people. Rizzio worries about overcrowding. Mayor Cantrell says this is something she's watching closely.
If we have too many, then we have to work towards a release initiative, again, with the juvenile court as well as with the sheriff's office. And so that's a transfer policy that we will have to enforce as well.
Another part of the plan involves a policy change at Orleans Parish Juvenile Court. It states that those under 17 charged with certain crimes will be temporarily held pending a probable cause hearing in front of a juvenile judge. But Cantrell's plan is not solely based on enforcement. There are several social plans in place as well, social programs in place as well, including a summer jobs program, as well as a huge emphasis on the New Orleans Public Library, citing well-known statistics that if children know how to read, they are far less likely to commit crimes. Rizzio says that these programs are a good start, but there need to be more funding and they need to be bigger. That is the story for now. Reporting live, Paul Dudley, Eyewitness News.
Paul, thank you. And just a reminder, the hours of the curfew vary each day and are different for the French Quarter. Again, police say they will be ramping up enforcement. If a child is picked up 3 times in a calendar year, a court summons will be issued, meaning parents or guardians could face fines.